Hello everybody, welcome to Tuesday's edition of Yesterday in Baseball. My name is Luke, I'm going to be your host, and we've got 3 games to recap for you guys. If you're new here, we're just doing little 10 to 15 minute episodes, catching you up on all the baseball action from the day before. And if you're just joining us now, it's a good time because the wild card picture is chaotic and fun, and we've got a lot to talk about every single day. So even with 3 episodes today, we'll go into our recaps. We got a new edition of Luke's Chop Stat. We're going to go into end of season grade. We're going to be talking about the Chicago White Sox today. And then we'll wrap it up with a little bit of what the potential playoff teams need in order to clinch. And then we'll go into our ending segments. So yeah, without further ado, let's travel to Atlanta. The Braves kicked off action against the Nationals, where Atlanta won 11-5. Their offense was rolling. Michael Harris, II, went 3 for 5 with a double and 3 RBI. Ronald Acuna Jr. hit a homer. He knocked in 2 and walked 3 times. Atlanta's looking to finish strong after an uncharacteristically poor season this year. They'll get the win 11-5 on Monday, and that makes it 9 consecutive wins for them, so they're finishing strong. In San Diego, the Padres clinched a playoff berth in grand fashion as they walked off the Brewers in 11 last night, winning 5-4. The Padres scored on a balk in the first, which is odd, and then the Brewers poured it on as they were up 3-1 after the second. San Diego chipped away while their bullpen kept things where it stood until the 10th, where each team scored the ghost runner, making it 4-all. In the bottom of the 11th, though, runner on third base, trade deadline acquisition Freddie Fermin sent the Padres to the postseason with a walk-off single to center. That's going to be their 4th postseason appearance in the last 5 years for the Padres. They did it in grand fashion, walking off the best team in baseball and winning 5-4. And here we are already, the last game of the night. The Cardinals took down the Giants 6-5 on Monday night. The Giants were in the mix at the end of last week, but after this loss, they're tied with the Cardinals 3.5 games out. It's not looking like that either team will sneak in at this point. But onto the game, it was back and forth in the early innings. A big 4-run top of the 5th inning thanks to an Ivan Herrera homer, an RBI ground out, and a fielder's choice put the Cardinals up. From there, it was all pitching. Both bullpens only gave up 1 hit and no runs each. Cardinals got the win 6-5. And that is all of the baseball recaps from Monday. Now let's hop into Luke's Chop Stat. The Milwaukee Brewers are one of the most productive offenses in baseball, and they've been the best team in baseball so far this year. Through 156 games, they've scored 790 runs, just over 5 per game on average, which is the 3rd best in all of baseball. What makes this interesting, though, is how they score runs. Despite having a slightly above average hitter-friendly ballpark in terms of home runs, they're 20th in homers. They may not slug, but they score runs because they put the ball in play, and let's take a look at it. So one stat they lead the league in is soft hit percentage, which is essentially the percentage of batted balls that go off the bat at a low exit velocity. Despite struggling with the exit velocity, they get hits and they score runs, which says to me that in the development and coaching, they make a deliberate approach to try and get the guys to put the ball in play, and it's working out. Despite hitting the ball the softest of anyone as a team, they're top 5 in hits, top 5 in not striking out, stolen bases, walks, and runs. Now, in a baseball world that's been so power-oriented the past decade or so, seeing a team revert back to what's worked for as long as baseball's been around seems simple but genius. And I want to give credit to the Brewers front office and their coaching, because I think that they've identified that they have the right guys to play this style of baseball. Not every lineup can do everything. They can't. If they went out and tried to hit for power, I don't think they would be as good. They might not even be a 500 team, but it all comes down to the approach and understanding what you have. So that soft hit percentage is not something you necessarily want to have every year, but it's working out for them because they have the guys that they got the speed. They can hit the ball soft. They can run it out. They can steal bases. They can move the runners. They can play that. Again, I keep saying it, but it's fundamental baseball. And so that's just my thought as to why they're so good this year. They're just hitting the ball at kind of any cost, moving the runners, doing whatever you have to. And I wish more teams would kind of take a page out of their book, and maybe they will in the future, but I just think hitting home runs, they're great. You get a run off of one swing, no matter if anyone's on base or not. But there's such a value and an art to just hitting the ball and, like I said, putting it in play. Because there's nothing I hate more than seeing a guy go down looking with the bat on his shoulder. So seeing guys hit the ball, it's kind of an old head take for me, I'm sure. But I would just love to see like my Cardinals or someone try and replicate that and just go back to that fundamental style of baseball that's worked so well for the Brewers this year, despite having the softest hitting percentage in Major League Baseball. Now let's go into our second end of season grade, and we have the 29th ranked Chicago White Sox. The ESPN projected record is 54-108, and putting them at the worst team in baseball. They've already beat that so far with a week left. They're 58-98. They're likely going to get to 60 wins, which is a massive improvement over their MLB modern era worst 41 wins last year. And they've really got a ton of young talent on this team. I'll kind of highlight some of them for anyone who hasn't followed them that closely. We have rookie relief pitcher Mike Vasil. He's got 2.9 WAR, a 2.37 ERA in 45 games this year out of the bullpen. Rookie shortstop and third baseman Colson Montgomery, he's put up 2.7 WAR, and hear this, 65 games. I mean, that's great stuff. He's put up 2.7 WAR, 18 homers. Batting average could use some work, I'm sure, but I mean, he's been productive. 49 ribbies, and again, 65 games. He's been amazing. And then you have rookie catcher Kyle Teel. He's put up 1.9 WAR in 73 games. He's got 8 homers, 274 batting average. He's been pretty solid defensively. He's just, again, a rookie, so he's going to develop and continue to get better, hopefully. And then rookie starting pitcher Shane Smith, 1.7 WAR. He's got about a 4 ERA, but in 27 games, I mean, that's very stable, especially for a rookie in this league. So they've got a lot of talent, and they've outperformed their expectations. In the second half, they've gone 25-30, which is a 71 win pace over 162 games. Heading into next season, they have a lot to build on, like all those rookies, just to continue to develop. There's everyone comes back pretty much. There's a Luis Robert option for $20 million. They've kind of hinted that they'll pick that up and maybe they'll trade and cash him in or something. But yeah, I mean, I get the on-field product hasn't been great. They've won 58 games. I get it, and anything is going to seem amazing after a 41-win team. But I mean, I commend the front office. They've committed to a rebuild, and yes, they've understood that they're going to lose some games and this and that. But like I said, I mean, they've cashed in those pieces for guys that are already contributing now and have shown great promise. So, and you don't want to be one of those teams that's caught in limbo forever. So they've outperformed expectations. They look like they've got some good talent for the future. They can just continue to build and develop around. So relative to the preseason expectations, I give the White Sox a B+. I know that might be up for debate, but like I said, it's all relative. And I mean, a B+, it seems like they've had a really solid year and they've got a lot to build on. So for our final little segment of the day, we're going to hop into what a couple of these teams need in order to clinch their playoff position. It's been chaotic in the AL Central as the Detroit Tigers have been on a massive skid. They've lost 6 in a row and have only won 1 game in the last 10 days. Then the Cleveland Guardians have been hard charging. They've won 9 games in their last 10 days. They play tonight and they play this weekend. Obviously, you know, they want either one side or the other. They want to sweep and then just keep pace. So Detroit, they've really been slipping up. I believe Scooble's going tonight for Detroit, so that's huge for them. But Cleveland, they've been hot, and Detroit hasn't been able to score runs. So, I mean, you know, like I said, either team, they just are looking for a sweep and then playing 500 ball after that, and they'll likely get in. Now, as we head to the AL West, Seattle, they've got a 3-game lead now. They just want Houston to keep on losing or they keep on winning. You know, one of the two. They can control their own destiny now. And if you're Houston, you are looking for either a Detroit or Cleveland sweep because they are both teams that can easily fall out of this picture just like that. So If either Detroit or Cleveland gets swept and they play 500 ball the next couple days, they could be seeing themselves in a position where they can control their own destiny as well. So we have that. And then in the AL East, we have the Yankees and Red Sox. Red Sox are kind of hanging around. The Yankees are kind of a shoo-in. They just need to keep winning games, and I'm sure they'll keep doing that. The Red Sox, same thing kind of as Houston. If Cleveland or Detroit gets swept, they're going to be sitting kind of pretty, and they just kind of have to play 500 ball, and they'll clinch by the end of the week. In the NL, it is chaotic. A lot of basically everybody but the last wildcard spot has clinched, and that is tie right now between the Reds and the Mets, and Arizona is only one game back. So the Mets need Arizona to lose as they're playing the Dodgers, and they need Pittsburgh to get hot and somehow take down Cincinnati. Cincinnati's been on a bit of a roll. Pittsburgh, they've been scoring runs though, so it's not totally out of the question. The Mets travel to Chicago, and they're hoping that the Cubs are not going to be playing their best baseball because they've clinched. So, and then at the end of that week, in that, Arizona goes to San Diego, who's pretty much going to lock in a wild card spot most likely. So that's going to be interesting for them. And then Cincinnati travels to Milwaukee. If they clinch that number 1 seed or the bye previous to that, I would be kind of scared because they might not play all their starters. And the Mets travel to Miami, who's just been kind of playing spoiler and winning baseball games. So, I mean, that whole kind of group there is going to be fun to watch for the next couple days. I think from here on out, I really do give the Mets the best chance, but it's still anybody's ball game. Like I said, there was a lot of baseball to be talked about despite only 3 games. It kind of gives us a chance to catch our breath and look into some other stuff. But let's go ahead and look at our player of the day for Monday now. It's going to be none other than Padres catcher Freddie Fermin. He came in a trade deadline move for a couple of pitchers to the Kansas City Royals. And he's been nothing but solid, just a good fundamental ball player for them. I keep seeing stuff about, he's got a clutch sack bunt and extras or something to help move the runner and just help out the team. Today he got to be the hero though. 1 for 2 with an RBI and plus 14.6 win probability added. He helps give them their 4th playoff appearance in the last 5 years, which is great. They're looking to go on another great run like they did back in 2022, making it all the way to the NLCS. So, I don't know. Their pitching's a little shaky, but they do have a lot of good vibes out there, so maybe they go on a run. And with that, let's go ahead and look at some of the exciting matchups tonight. There's no shortage of that with the wild card races. We have Detroit at Cleveland kicking off at 6:40 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:40 Pacific. Tarek Skubal versus Williams on the mound. That's going to be a great matchup. It's basically a playoff game at this point, and again, anytime you get to watch Skubal, that's fun. Then the Mets travel to Chicago. They play the Cubs at 6:40 Eastern Time. David Peterson on the mound versus Horton. The Mets, they need a victory bad. The Cubs are kind of coasting maybe, so maybe the Mets will get that, but you never know. Then the Dodgers take on the Arizona Diamondbacks at 9:40 Eastern Time, 6:40 Pacific. Ohtani versus Fott on the mound. Fott had that great outing last time out, and it's always fun to see Ohtani pitch and hit. So again, Arizona needs a victory, so it's going to be an exciting day for baseball. Hope you guys are all buckled up and excited to watch some. That's it from Tuesday's show. Thank you so much for listening. It was a weird day with only 3 games and a lot of other fun segments thrown in there. So I know it was kind of different, but I hope you guys enjoyed it and getting to hear about some different things. Big games tonight, Detroit and Cleveland, I will definitely be watching, so I'll be excited to recap that and all the other games for everyone tomorrow. And keep watching those wildcard standings. It's going to be crazy down the stretch. So thank you again for listening. Have a good rest of your day and enjoy some baseball later. See ya.